They're all talking at the same time.
I have a disclaimer before the show starts. Here it is.
Tim
Happy hour started
speaks.
45 minutes ago, and we just started filming now. That explains a lot.
All the viewers.
Okay,
like
so here we go, and
Woohoo! Started.
Oh, welcome to 6 blocks down,
down,
across,
no, apart,
6 blocks apart, where we discuss with the 4 people that are
4.
6, 7 that are here
Oh my God.
about the issues of the day and things that have affected us. And I don't want to be sprayed with Lysol. Thank you.
Please, don't you just say
Okay.
drink with the 4 people in the
Okay, hit it.
Anyway. Hi, everybody.
Hey!
Hey!
What's up, guys?
Nice to see you, Sean and Michelle.
It is
Welcome
so good to
to-
see you guys.
Welcome to 6 Blocks Apart with Teresa, Tristan, Garrick, Tim, and Melissa. Woohoo! Woo! I hope you have your drink.
Wait, hold on. Just to be clear, I am getting my day rate, right?
Yes, just the
Yes.
day rate.
Absolutely.
Just
Checks
the
in the
day
mail as we speak.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
But you have a drink? Does everybody have a
We do.
drink?
We have a beverage.
Okay, good. Clink,
An
clink,
adult
clink.
beverage.
It's a good thing that alcohol is a big part of this little escapade. Otherwise, I don't think any of us could get through it.
By the way, here's my problem, just to let you know, is usually when I fly, I ask for, I get these for free, but I don't drink them because I don't like to drink when I fly, so I bring them home. But
No.
the is I'm running out.
Run out of vodka.
Because I'm not flying.
Okay.
So
First of all, I applaud your classiness, and I mean that by having your little finger up, of having Tito's. Tito's is the beverage of the millennium, Tim, and
Why do you keep talking about millennials?
Mine is.
We tried to get. We're empty nesters now.
we haven't heard from Garrick in a while.
You know what? I
Woo!
wanted to just
Where's
say,
it went?
I'm so glad I got to have dinner with both of you before all this.
Aw.
Yeah.
It would have been better if you
Yeah.
paid, though.
They were so kind. They called me up and said, we're in town and we want to take you to dinner.
Oh.
And we went to.
We had a great
I'm
dinner.
never good with numbers. 848, 849.
The place where Sean.
Okay, wait a minute.
849.
Where was I?
No, it was a private.
Listen, if I had a nickel
And
for every
the
dinner I bought you.
No, stop it. That's
Yeah,
not
and it
what
was
it's
really
about.
nice.
If this was a private, we just wanted.
No, we just wanted to get to know Garrick better.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
well, actually, that's not true. Sean wanted Garrick to know exactly where his star was.
Shut up. Be silly. Be silly.
He's like, did you come in the front door or was it the back?
Can I just say this
Okay.
before all this went down? I'm so glad that we all, except for, Sean and Michelle obviously weren't in town, but we all went to No, I wish you could have been there. We all went to see Timmy play at Las Consuelas.
But you know what I've
That
seen
was
Tim,
one of our
Oh,
last
I
big.
but you know what I've seen Tim play?
Get
I've seen Tim
together.
play in Vegas, and he was
True.
awesome. Tim
Yes.
killed it.
Tim, wait, do
I
you
was
know
Wait,
there
you don't
with
understand.
you.
You don't
don't know
understand.
how
I am
I
like
do.
a sick Rick Springfield fan. Okay,
Okay.
so Rick, who used to be on General Hospital, came on,
Yep.
and we were supposed to sit in the front row and pretend we were dancing to Jesse's Girl. And they're like, Sean, can you take it down a notch? Because I was like a little too excited
Really?
and too into
Wait,
it.
that's not the
Wait,
story.
wait.
No.
A quick question, Sean. When you were
Yeah.
saying that you were in the audience
Put your phone
screaming
down.
on the show, no, it's okay.
Larry's texting me. Oh, damn it.
You said-
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
When
Yes.
you were on the show and you said you were screaming when Rick was playing, you meant the actual show? The actual
Yeah.
No, don't you remember when we
Because when he was on the General Hospital
That's what-
episode
that's
for
what
the
I'm-
nurses' ball.
Yeah.
Right.
Come
So Rick came back, and he was performing on the nurses' ball, and I was supposed to be,
Right.
as my character,
that.
one of the audience members.
Oh.
And they're in the booth watching
Remember
me,
that.
and he's singing Jesse's Girl. I'm like, no, and they're like, God, Sean is really committed, and I'm like, no, that was my jam.
Tell me, where can I find a woman like that? You know, I wish that I had Jesse's girl.
Like, I mean, I made out to that song.
Oh,
Okay.
that's so funny. Oh my God, we're
With
playing.
Rick Springfield. I actually made out with Rick. No, I'm kidding.
Okay, just want to clarify before we tell him.
Yeah, no, that's I didn't know that. That's interesting.
No, but you know what? I mean, that was like, listen, you know, like Karate Kid is a part of the tapestry of the 80s,
Yes.
right? Rick Springfield, Tim, you guys are a part of the fabric. Don't talk right now, or I'll kill you. I mean, seriously, we were all a part of the 80s, which means we are old farts. And Tristan, if that's the case, what does that make you?
So
The oldest fart.
Can we get
You came up with this idea about creating this online soap opera called Studio City, and you
Yes.
asked husband to be a part, and you have to.
I think begged is a
Well,
better
I
word.
think-
I
I
begged
think-
Trissy Rue.
I
It was like,
voluntold.
please, Trissy Rue.
I think voluntold.
Okay, so go ahead. We want to hear about that, and we want to hear about where we can watch it and all of that.
So okay, so Studio City was originally a project I had called Soap Star, and I'd had this in my desk for like, I don't know, 20 years, and ultimately
Wait a minute. I thought it was called The Bubble.
Well,
That
that
was-
was an iteration of it, but it was originally called Soap Star. And when I met him, he actually had it, and so we talked about it. And you know, he originally wanted me to represent him, and I was like, well, okay, like what else can you do? So we wrote a rap song.
a lot.
And
Oh, that was fabulous.
that was supposed to be the opening credits, and it was supposed to be a light comedy.
Oh, wow.
A whimsical romp,
It was
as
a
it were.
whimsical rock. And so we kind of like went
Whatever
through-
happened, we got it right, Tris?
Yeah, we went through like
It
stages
happened.
after
It just fell
We
into
got with
place.
Tris. Whatever happened, we got it right. A bunch of idiots like us, somehow we got it right.
Yes.
There was a bunch of parts in this thing, and I knew exactly who I wanted. There was one for Tristan. There was, we knew exactly who we wanted, and we were very
It's so-
fortunate. Now, Melissa, have you seen Tristan in Studio City?
Oh my God, we watched it. Yeah, right away.
I mean, fucking heartbreaking. I mean, are you
I
kidding
thought it
me?
was Great.
I
I
mean,
thought
it's not that he had any help with my silent performance, but
It's a different me.
amazing.
It's
Totally
a different me.
different.
I don't know if this is going to come off as an insult or a compliment, but when we were watching it, Tim went, "Holy shit, Sean can really act."
It's actually
I-
true.
He went, "Wow, you're
That's
really
actually a
Thank you.
compliment.
That's
Yeah,
okay.
I
I saw Tim and I was like, holy shit, Tim can really play the keyboard.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, you
I'm
have to realize
kidding.
he's
I'm
never
kidding.
watched you on a soap opera, so there you
I mean,
go.
I tell you now, all of my stuff we got in one take, and they were all page and a half monologues.
It's because we were afraid you were going to die.
And,
That's
and
what
I
we
have
were.
to tell you, what was really cute is being on. So how this all kind of came to be is that Tim does features.
No one knows who Tim is, babe. When you
Tim,
say
the
that.
director,
Thank
who
you.
if
Not
we're
this
talking about Studio
I mean,
City, they'll all
you
know.
have to
Not
worry
that
about
Tim.
You know what's
audience.
really cool
The
about
audience.
you is that like you just like you're pretty, so we can write it off. So anyway,
Oh my God.
I haven't read
My
any
dad's-
negative
my dad's
report
calling.
about this whole project.
Tell
me if you have.
Later.
Yeah, we lost
so
Sean.
do I.
So anyway,
You know who- I thought Petrinka did a beautiful job. as his-
Oh, she was amazing.
You
Yeah.
were so
I was
freaking-
crying.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's such a good.
Amazing.
I was crying too when Patricia was on there.
Yeah. But Tristan,
And
so
amazingly,
Oh,
But-
your
when
daughter, your daughter.
she literally got that script the day she came on set.
Wow.
Like she didn't have it for a long time. And Patricia, when she originally signed on to do it, thought it was going to be a comedy.
Oh wow.
So
What?
can you imagine- yeah. So can you imagine she comes on set and we were like,
Wow.
read it. And she was like,
Yeah.
"Hey."
That was a 2-page monologue that she
Yeah.
had
I know it was a long,
with lots of pauses
And
and
it-
moments
and
in it,
it-
and she captured them all.
I was like
Yeah. I know.
tears.
And what's
Yeah.
so cool with Tristan is he's always, his character on General Hospital is always like cool and suave and like, you know, hey, you know, look
Right.
cool.
Like in real life.
Untouchable.
Like in
His
real life.
character there is like the working class guy that's had a really hard life and hangs out at the bar.
I loved it.
Really, really good. I didn't know. You just told me that it's nothing like your other characters, and so you didn't tell me anything else. And so when I watched, I'm like,
Where's Sean?
But the interesting thing was the original script that Sean gave me had nothing to do.
All right, we're gonna
with
turn
that
off this
character.
speed because
Nothing to do with it. So here's me learning a character which we basically never used. Studio City so far has been totally positive. I mean, we've progressed to the blue ribbon panel. Blue ribbon panel. These are the people that decide who is going to ultimately be nominated. And so far, we're doing really, really well in that. There hasn't been. I've never read a negative comment about this project so far.
Aren't you up for awards? Let's talk about that.
Yes.
Tell me about that. Tell me about all the awards.
So we're up for 12
Michelle?
ISA nominations. So we're up for Best Show, Best Ensemble Cast, Best Actor, Best Supporting Actor, Best Actress, Best Supporting Actress, Best Guest Star. Wait, what was that? Best Writing, Best Cinematography, Best Directing. I know.
Maybe just
There's so many. Like,
and I love the editing. I loved your editing. I thought it was
the editing as well. Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah. No, it's really exciting. I mean, we never thought it was going to get this big. We kind of wanted to.
I did.
Good. I mean, we really
I thought it would.
Fair.
You know, we really exceeded everybody's expectations.
Tim said you have to have confidence in what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like Sean said, he knew. Well, you don't do it unless you know that you. I mean, unless you have.
Well, I think the other thing is you have to kind of just put your best foot forward and do it without any, in a vacuum. Like, do it because you love it and because you're committed to it, and do the best thing that you can do. And that's what we did. And for me, I was just happy working with everybody that we knew and like doing something that's fun. And I also like getting a chance to do all of the storylines that had some social consequences, like the hashtag Me Too, the elder abuse, the ageism, and like at our screening, Eva LaRue was there, and she, she's daytime royalty, and she came up to me and she was like, I cannot believe how accurate and true to life this is. She was like, I feel like you followed me around with a camera.
Yeah, well, that's
and
we actually did.
That's something. Yeah, that's what we did. But I mean, that's something that I wouldn't know because obviously I haven't been in daytime soaps. But the fact that she would say that is really interesting. That ought to be like a tagline thing almost because sometimes, like you watch a doctor show and you're like, maybe this is how doctors are, but I don't know. But if a doctor said this is real, then I'm kind of getting a backstage, thing. But
a turning point for me when I was working on Studio City was when I walked out in the balcony and the whole thing was lit with fairy lights and candles, and I thought, wow, I haven't seen this before. So automatically I knew the production value was really, really high. And Tristan, you better step up and be a part of that because, otherwise you're going to look like an ass.
Right.
And so it was a turning point for me and a wonderful marker to say, hey, they're all doing something absolutely great here. You better be doing something equally as great. And there we go.
There's a rumor for season 2.
Oh, Eva.
Is that
Can
a
you
rumor for season 2?
see mother-daughter?
Oh my God.
Yes.
Perfect.
Totally.
Perfect.
And we get to get into season 2, and
Not hopefully, you are.
well, we
I
have
think
a
we've
lot
got
of
enough
people
going for us. I think it's really, everything's positive about this little engine that could.
Yeah.
It's totally.
Yeah, and a lot of people are writing or like sending us messages and writing with theories about season 2, which is an awesome time. It's really fun.
So if you're like the show Lost, you just take their theories and you go like, yeah, that's a good idea. You turn it into something.
Sure.
Lost. Oh my God.
No, that's I heard
love
that Lost actually tailored their final seasons based on the fans were coming up with scenarios, and they're like, that's better than what we've got. We're just going to go with that.
Really?
Yeah. But you know, I have to say, as just watching the show as a viewer, and also being involved with video recording and stuff, like that scene you're talking about in the balcony where it was lit up in a certain way. Like I was really like going, wow, this is the whole production value of the whole show. I was blown away from the first scene. I just didn't expect it to be like that. And as I was watching it, you know, I said to you, I was like, wow, this is like high quality stuff. And
I mean, we had a full production crew. Like we had, and that's what was really amazing about it, is that like the entire production crew is used to working on features. So I was like, what if we get these feature guys to do a show and it's 10 minutes? So we actually had a lot more stuff written and we wanted to move it in, but like budget, we shot this in 4 days.
Wow.
Which is insane.
Yeah. So I mean,
That's
the quality
and like the craziness is that Tristan, you can totally like relate to this, but like I've been going around to Hollywood and like trying to get, obviously I have Sean, so I'm trying to get soap people on sets, and they're like, oh, soap people, and I'm like, yeah, but like one take, and they don't get it. And on an indie set, more than one take, it costs money. Time is money. And so when you have soap actors, it's literally one take. They're good.
Yeah.
it's a one job.
Yeah.
So we actually got a lot. But Tim, our director, he is a feature director. And for him, he's used to taking like 35 takes. They shoot 4 pages a day. In soaps, you shoot 80 a day. So like for him, I was like, can you do this? And it was like a challenge. And you know, we shot about 10 pages a day. So it was a good, like, it was a happy medium, but he could have shot more. But I mean, the reason that it was 10 is because each setup was feature lighting, you know, and when you do soaps, you're on a set, it's pre-lit, and furniture is blocked. All the sets are pre-done. So we had to create these sets on the fly.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Which is a whole different thing, yeah, because when you're just filming in a studio, everything's completely set, and you just, like you said, put the cameras on. Yeah. That's different from.
I'll be honest with you. I'll be honest with you. Most soap actors are trained at this point to get it right in the first take.
Right.
And for the most part, we do. We sit down quietly somewhere and work it out and work it out and work it out. So by the time you get on in front of the camera, you have got it. You are totally a part of that particular role. You've got it. It's in your blood. And the first take is always the best.
You're reminding me of Ruth Warwick that played Phoebe Wallingford.
Phoebe.
And she would always, like, here, you would be over, the person she's talking to would be over here, and she'd be looking at the monitor, and she'd like, well, blah, 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 blah. And then she'd look over at the person because she was so old, and she was still doing her part, and she was just a classic.
Yeah, that's funny.
Ruth
Well,
Warwick.
those out.
Remember, she was an old Broadway actress.
Well, where can everybody find Studio City?
Michelle?
You can go to, it's on Amazon Prime. And if you don't have Amazon Prime, go to Amazon and you can search it, and you can purchase the episodes.
Cool.
And you can also go to studiocity.show, and you can find all the behind the scenes and kind of, it's the show website.
Well, that's great. Well, that sounds like a lot of fun, and
That's
obviously
great.
everybody knows we enjoyed it.
I'd like to say something here about the show.
Okay.
Anybody watching this particular little get-together now, probably curious about, well, I got to look into this Studio City thing. Do it. It's worth it. We created something totally unique and a game changer in my considered vernacular to what soap's all about. And I like to think I've been in soap opera for quite a while.
I think you
I've
have.
seen the good,
At least a couple
I've
of
seen the
years.
good, the bad, and the ugly. And we are a game changer. We are a changer in terms of nothing gradual, nothing crazy, a lot of simple things, but little things that go into making you think, wow, this show's different. Why is it different? I'm going to keep on watching. And you know, that's really what we want. We want your support. We want you to keep on watching and pass it along to your friends.
Oh, well, here we are at the end of another episode of...
The episode.
Yeah, well, it's
Deposition.
6 blocks apart. Join us again sometime soon when we will reenact this little auspicious group of degenerates and talk about all your favorite subjects and not so favorite. Good night.